Okay, there we go. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd just like to get everybody's attention. We're going to be starting. Okay. All right. I'd like to call to order for the public hearing on the proposed budget for the 2026-27 school year and the Committee of a Whole meeting of the Board of Education, May 6th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria of the Conover Road Primary School at 56 Conover Road, Colts Neck, New Jersey. Mr. Maraska, at this time, can I get a roll call?
Absolutely. Mrs. Camera?
Present.
Mrs. Horowitz?
Present.
Mr. Arrico?
Here.
Mr. Rugnetta?
Here.
Mr. Scales? Here. Mr. Scarpa?
Here.
Mrs. Volpe?
Here.
Mr. Walsh?
Here.
Mr. Wickberg?
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, this meeting has been duly advertised in the Asbury Park Press in a schedule of meetings dated January 23rd, 2026, notice of which has been filed with the Deputy Clerk for Colts Neck Township, and the requirements of posting of notices have been met. If we could kindly rise for the flag salute and national anthem. Okay, once again, good evening, everybody. We have a packed agenda tonight. I just want to thank everybody all for coming out. We have so many fantastic achievements that we are going to honor tonight, and also our brand-new student liaisons to the Board of Education. So we are going to start with the presentation of our student representatives. Just to give everybody a little background, this program was put in place a little over maybe a year and a half ago. The board fully supports student voice, and we just want to thank all the participants tonight for making a change and being a voice for all the students at Cedar Drive. So Dr. Garibay, if you want to continue and call up whoever's first.
Thank you. We're very excited to have some returning 8th graders for a few more months, which as our new 2026 student representatives to the boards continue on their legacies and the good work that we've done. So at this time, if I'm going to call a student up, and then I have the list here, and then you're going to introduce the next one individual who's going to speak, okay? Got it? Okay, so first one up, Sophia Boucher.
And I've been working on enhancing the lunch options for students at Cedar Drive Middle School, especially for those who have special dietary needs. And I want to start off by saying that it's been a wonderful project. Palmtonian, which is the food supplier for our schools, have been so great. And so right away they took like cheese out of like the salads and put it separately, like for people who can't have lactose or cheese. And they also, like, I've noticed they put like more vegan options out, and they like show all the options like right when you walk into the cafeteria, which is great. And so I was working on this project all year, and I just came back to say that it's been very successful, and now I've seen so many wonderful changes, and it really makes me happy because I'm someone myself who can't have lactose. So, yeah, thank you. Emmanuel.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Emmanuel Diener. I'm in 8th grade, and I have an update to share with you and a new idea that I hope will come to fruition in the future. The update is the bullying project that I've been working on has been approved by Dr. Garibay, and the Google Forms will be sent out to all of these students on Friday, and an email will be sent out to the parents also. If you're not sure what this project is, I've noticed that a lot of kids have been getting bullied lately, and even when being told to stop, they haven't, the bulliers haven't stopped. And I figured that it should come to an end, and I've been working with Dr. Garibay and Dr. Rigby and the board on coming up with a Google form to kind of like pinpoint where like the most students are getting bullied. So like, is it 7th grade girls or is it 6th grade boys that are getting bullied the most? And kind of going further into that, and then once we get all of the information that we need of like where people are getting bullied the most, then we can start to do workshops with NJ4S Compass, an organization that does presentations about all sorts of things: mental health, bullying, health, and they do them all for free. So we get most of our presentations from NJ4S Compass, and we're going to start to work with them on a way to stop the bullying. And in addition to that, I feel like also mental health is getting ignored a lot. It also does sort of have to do with bullying. Kids with like learning disabilities and mental health disabilities have been getting ridiculed more than kids without. And I feel like we can do something about that with NJ4S Compass. They can do presentations, and they can do activities that require students to work with our special ed students and work together to achieve a goal. And then maybe that'll make people see that people with disabilities aren't that much different than us. That's what I have for you, but I am working on something with Miss Kira Harlan, and I would like to call her up too.
Hello, I'm Kira Harlan, and I'm in 8th grade. Good evening, board members. Emmanuel and I are planning on working on a project together.
In the schools, there are two outside courtyards that are filled with rocks.
These two courtyards are located near the chorus room and by the 8th grade commons.
We noticed that these courtyards have been looking bland and empty, so we came up with an idea to spruce them up and make them more useful.
By the area near the chorus room, we were thinking of putting multiple concrete benches just placed in rows. They would be like the benches in the Peace Garden.
We thought that these benches would be created for chorus, band, and other classes. This will give more opportunities for students to get fresh air throughout the day.
Now, by the Commons courtyard, we are thinking of having tables like the ones outside of the cafeteria that students eat at during lunch. Plastic versions would easily degrade over time, so concrete versions of these tables will be more weather-friendly and durable.
It does get hot, so we were thinking of adding waterproof umbrellas in the middle of the tables that will withstand rain and snow and be of use for shade.
Students would be able to take classes outside, and teachers could eat out there too.
Now, you may be wondering, how can classes get outside? And won't the students just go out instead of going to classes? Though there are accurate thoughts, there are doors outside both courtyards that are easily accessible to students when going outside with classes. Otherwise, the faculty have the keys to the doors, so students cannot go outside alone.
Another part of this project that we could add on is that the 8th graders could either carve or paint the rocks that are on the ground in these areas to leave their mark. And the art club could possibly paint the benches so they would look more colorful.
We do know that furniture made of concrete is extremely expensive. However, we found estimates that smaller benches are around $100 to about $400 in total, and longer benches that are over 6 feet are about $470 to about $1,000 in total. Now, this is a lot of money for just some concrete benches. And if needed, our school can have a fundraiser to help pool the money needed for these new additions.
An example of a fundraiser idea that we could do is a fun run, where students, faculty, and families can pay to run. This will help raise money and can help create a greater bond between students and staff.
That's all we have for you today. Have a great evening.
So our 8th graders, you can tell we're going to be sad to see them go, but I just want to, first, before we move on to our 7th graders, just compliment the 3 of you. Your growth in this program is certainly so impressive, from kind of learning about what the goal was to being able to really confidence in your voice. So take that with you as you go on to high school, and we're excited to see all the things that you are able to effectuate a change about when you get there. So congratulations. All right, our new 7th graders coming into our program. Yes, you can clap for that. Absolutely you can. Okay. Our first 7th grader who'd like to introduce himself is Jaden Battaglia.
Hello, I'm Jaden Battaglia, and I'm in 7th grade. And next, can Connor Coppola please come up?
Connor? No, he's not here. Okay. Connor's not here? Okay. Zachary Quinn. Dunn. I'm sorry. My glasses are there. Zachary Dunn. I apologize.
Hello, my name is Zachary Dunn, and I'm a 7th grader like Jaden Battaglia. I'm a part of the tennis team. Thank you.
Jacob Kaufman.
Hi, my name is Jacob Kaufman. I'm also in 7th grade. That's all, really.
Giovanna Setinari.
Hello, I'm Giovanna Setinari. I don't have any ideas yet, but I'm really excited to work with the Board of Education. Thank you. Could Sabrina Shagawaski come up?
I'm Sabrina Shardoradsky. I'm in 7th grade, and yeah.
Michaela Staddle. Right here. Okay. Otto Weber.
Hi, I'm Otto. I'm in 7th grade. That's basically it. I have nothing else.
Let's give a round of applause for our new 7th graders. Looking forward to hearing all of your great ideas. Moving on to our brave 6th graders, who as 6th graders we're hoping we'll see, and as a matter of fact, we have Emmanuel, who was our 6th grader who started last year and has seen it all the way through all 3 years of her at Cedar Drive. So first of our 6th graders, Ariel Resnick.
Good evening. My name is Ariel Resnick, and I'm excited to be working with the school board for the rest of the school year. I wanted to take the opportunity to share some of my ideas to elevate the Colts Neck Schools experience. One idea that I have was an annual charity sports game. Each team fundraises for the school or an organization. This would be a great way to spread some philanthropy and have some fun while we're at it. One problem that I noticed at Cedar Drive is that many kids are consuming dangerous amounts of energy drinks. It might not seem like the school rule, but including caffeine safety education in the health curriculum could save a life. I would love to work with the board to solve this. Overall, I'm looking forward to working with the board to come up with new ideas and solve existing issues.
And our second 6th grader, Mr. Michael Roberts.
Good evening. My name is Michael Roberts, and I'm a student representative of Cedar Drive Middle School. I'd like to thank everybody for the grand honor to be able to stand up here and say some words, and I'm excited to be able to work with the student representative program. Thank you.
I just want to take a few moments to say some remarks to the student representatives. I'm so proud that all of you volunteered to take on this role, and this Board of Education is looking forward to working with you. I know I met with you personally at Cedar Drive a few weeks ago with Dr. Rigby and Dr. Garibay, and I was absolutely so happy to have you introduce yourselves and go over a few of the things that you mentioned, your mission, to bring out student voice and work with the Board of Education. So I just want to thank Dr. Rigby and Dr. Garibay for continuing this program, and and I appreciate the board continuing to support it. The board is welcome to make any more comments if you like to at this time regarding the student representatives. Any board member want to add anything? Nope. Okay, well, thank you very much. We're going to move on to the student recognition program. At this time, I respectfully ask that all parents remain seated for the entire awards presentation. So we're going to start, Dr. Garibay is going to start with the high honor roll achievements for 6th grade.
Okay, before we get started, I cannot think of a more appropriate night to be recognizing students who have achieved higher honor roll. There was well over 80 of them at Cedar Drive Middle School who could, most, as you can see from our audience, are here with us tonight. Some couldn't be. But I can't think of a better night than the night of our public budget hearing, because the best investments we can make are with our student and student achievement. So I just want to thank the board for allowing us to and encouraging us to continue to honor students and remember, give a good reminder for our community in general, why we do what we do and how and why it matters. And so thank you for taking that up for this opportunity to recognize students on the night of our budget presentation. Truly appreciated. That can get applause, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to have our dear colleague, friend, and esteemed principal of Cedar Drive Middle School, Dr. Colin Rigby, join me to help give out these certificates. This is truly an honor. And what we're going to do is we're going to honor students who have received it for first marking period, second marking period, or third marking period. And I say or because those are the recipients for each marking period. Then we will go into students who received for 2 of the first 3 marking periods, and then we will go in and honor students who have earned it for all 3 of the 3 marking periods, okay? And don't worry, you won't get shortchanged. There's 3 certificates for you. So, all right. So, without further ado, let's go first marking period. Okay. High honor roll, 93 or above average. Our first certificate goes to Layla Bradich. Andrew Goganzer. Jake Klein. Ryan Coster. Aubriana Owens. Nicholas Palazzolo. Ella Rahman. And Reagan Royal. Avery Tan. Reagan Yao. And Mila Zarini. Come on up. Come on up, Zil. Come on up. Okay, this is now marking period 2. If a student received high honor roll, earned a high honor roll for marking period 2. Okay? Isla Helms. Zachary Hess. There's Zach. Skylar Graves. Daniel Lee. Jack Mastropiero. Brielle Resnick. Gabriella Steffen, excuse me. Derek Williams. Okay, high honor roll achievers, earnings for marking period 3, which just included. We're in marking period 4 now. Dylan Carey. Charlotte McGuire. Zachary Pear. Maya Slabiak. Michaela Stadel. And Giancarlo Zarega. Okay, these are students who earned high honor roll, an average of 93 or above, for 2 of the first 3 marking periods, okay? So for marking period 1 and 3, Jack Alpa. For marking period 1 and 2, Perrine Bakken. For marking periods 2 and 3, Victoria Bavaro. Marking periods 2 and 3, Luke Bishop. Marking periods 1 and 2, Lorelei Broddick. Marking periods 1 and 3, Leo Bucci. Marking periods 1 and 2, Nicholas Caffiero. Marking periods 2 and 3, Quinn Carletta. Marking periods 2 and 3, Vivian Cyrus. Marking periods 2 and 3, Emmanuel Diener. Marking periods 1 and 2, Lily Gerber. Marking periods 1 and 2, Paula Kozit. Marking periods 2 and 3, Javier Lau. Marking periods 1 and 3, Irene Lee. Daniel's here. Marking periods 1 and 2, Ava Levkoff. Marking periods 1 and 3, Addison Lynham. Yeah. Marking periods 2 and 3, Veronica Melnikak. Marking periods 1 and 2, Carolyn O'Connor. Yep. Marking periods 1 and 3, Austin Palantonio. Marking periods 1 and 2, Sophia Pesci. Marking periods 2 and 3, Ariel Resnick. Marking periods 1 and 2, Catherine Roach. Marking periods 1 and 2, Charlie Sabatino. Yeah. Marking periods 1 and 2, Lila Setti. Marking periods 2 and 3, Giovanna Settinari. Marking periods 1 and 3, Daniel Shapiro. Marking periods 1 and 3, Sabrina Sargordorsky. Got it. Marking periods 2 and 3, Sabrina Sika. Marking periods 1 and 2, Santri Sandi. Marking periods 1 and 3, Logan Savaro, excuse me. Marking periods 1 and 3, Amelia Straight. Marking periods 2 and 3, Scarlett Wallace. And marking periods 1 and 2, Giovanna Walsh. So marking periods 1 and 2, they are here. So I'd like to give a shout out for Ella Rahman is here. There she is. Can't hide. And marking period 2, Daniel Lee. Okay, now we're going to move on to all 3 marking periods, okay? 93 or above earning high honor roll all 3 marking periods thus far. First up, all 3 marking periods, Jack Barone. Kane Bucci. Jake Siskowski. Ryan Siskowski. Frank Clementi. Jillian DeSalvatore. Alexandra Edwards. There she is. Olivia Eldelati. Parthenia Askander. Caitlin Friend. Kira Harlan. Amir Hassan. Ryan Hassan. Mackenzie Huang. Audrey Capadilla. Vincent Libatori. Alexander Morfino. Melania Muley. Gianna Nicholson. Lila O'Malley. Nicole Petrov. Ellie Reinerston. There she is. Violet Reinson. Michael Roberts. Elizabeth Rumsby. Maximilian Scharfenberg. Michael Shapiro. Kara Smith. Madeline Wallace. Elias Young. Mackenzie Ziobro.
Just want to thank Dr. Garibay and the Board of Education for taking the time and for allowing us to celebrate our talented students here. Just a huge shout out to the team behind all of you tonight. To all of your teachers, administrators through K to 8 that have been here along the way. We're so proud of you and seeing how you've grown. To 8th graders, continue on that journey in high school. But I think what's not lost is the amount of work and I think pride that you take in your work. So we appreciate that every day, and just know that we will continue to be in your corner. And thank you so much for all the hard work. We're very proud of you.
Okay, if all of the certificate recipients, high honor roll people recognized, students recognized today, could please please stand, and could we please give them one more round of applause? Congratulations to you all.
Okay, at this time, I just want to echo those same sentiments. This Board of Education is absolutely so proud of each and every one of these achievements, and we just want to congratulate you and your families. At this time, I want to ask if you could stay for 2 more minutes. I would like Mr. Brian Scarpa, one of our co-chairs to the Finance Department, to do a brief preamble to our finance presentation this evening. I think it's important to know, this community to know exactly where your tax dollars are going and how we went about doing it. So if we could just give our undivided attention to Mr. Brian Scarpa.
Thank you very much. So what an awesome night. You know, this is what it's all about, just great achievement. So fantastic. Congratulations to all of you who are celebrating with your students. We have great news to share. This board and the administrative staff has worked really, really hard in preparing this budget. We want to share that with you. If you have time to spend with us, by all means, hang out for a bit, ask any questions you have. But it's strong schools, perseverance, and a keen eye on a better tomorrow for a fiscally sound tomorrow is what brings us here today. So we want to share that good news with you. And by all means, ask any questions that you may have through this conversation. So thank you for giving the opportunity to hang out with us for a little bit.
Okay, at this time, thank you all for coming. Anybody who is not participating in the budget presentation could leave at this time, and we'll resume in less than 5 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, excellent.
And hold your awards up. I'm just staging a picture if you don't mind. Do you have your award? Get in here. Good. Get it. Okay, we're just waiting. There we go. All right. Smart and beautiful. Show off.
You can't even say that.
Awesome job.
Hello?
Oh.
So, That's great. Okay, right now. Oh man, it never gets old. I love it.
Want the same title?
How the boys do. Okay, well, my oldest son in middle school, so he was
That one's more catered to me, well, in terms of all of them, there's like a workaround I can make. It's something
But
Testing, testing. Okay. Yes, we're going to have one liaison come up if she forgot something. Okay. Okay, everybody, we're going to resume at this time. If everybody can have a seat. We actually want to actually invite Kira Harlan to come up. She wanted to make an additional statement in her position as board liaison, student liaison. So we're going to give her that time.
Good evening, everyone. I briefly explained my idea about the need for new desks at the last meeting I attended. This year, I noticed that all classrooms do not contain the same style desk. Some provide underneath storage, while many do not. The new ones would all have compartments underneath to store school supplies. Those without compartments require students to put their school supplies on the floor. This is unsanitary since their feet then go on top of their school supplies. When supplies are placed on the desk, they are a distraction and take up too much space. The style desk I believe we should have are the gray desks with a storage compartment underneath. Dr. Igby and I came up with an idea to create a form that we sent to the teachers to find out what kind of desks each classroom currently has. I received a completed form from 27 teachers. I found that we have 17 brown desks without storage, 158 brown desks with storage, 71 gray desks with storage, and 181 gray desks without storage. This totals to 427 desks, and we would need 356 new desks in order for all to be the same gray desk with a storage compartment. These desks cost about $170 each, so it costs around $60,520 total, not including tasks. I realize that this is a lot of money, therefore, not all would need to be purchased at the same time. The money could come from the school budget spread out over a few years. Ultimately, this project would allow students to be more organized and focused in class. Please consider my idea to help future students.
Thank you very much, Kira. We appreciate you, and we're so sad to see the 8th graders leaving. We've become so fond of all of you and all the great ideas, and a lot of them did come to fruition, as we know. So we want to thank you for participating. Emmanuel, you as well. For 3 years, you stayed constant with this program, and we are just, I can't tell you how proud we are of all your achievements and your input and student voice. Thank you. Okay, so at this time, I know we have a few parents. If you want to leave at this time, you're welcome. I'm just going to continue with the motion. I want to call a motion to open the public hearing for the 2026-27 budget. Can I get a motion? Okay, and roll call. Yep, all in favor?
Okay, motion carried.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Marasco. Okay, at this time, the board had requested the presence of Mr. John Schwisher. He's a CPA, a third-party auditor with Clooney and Company, and he's doing a public presentation of. Thank you. Excuse us. He's doing a public presentation of the 2024-25 Auditor's Management Report, and we are recording live stream, so we want the public to hear exactly what your report is for that time period. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to fix that for you.
I'm more of a numbers guy than technology. I'm going to just hold this. That'll work out better. So yes, we completed our audit for the year ended June 30th, 2025, several months ago. I came to one of your meetings and gave a presentation of all the results of that audit. Tonight, I was asked to kind of come here and concentrate on your surplus, okay, which I also go over with the Finance Committee in depth every year. But I just thought that it might be a good idea so that everybody kind of understands where the district landed fiscally. And it's important to note within the audit report, you have a clean opinion on your financial statements, an unmodified opinion. You might remember I told you. And what that means is that we were able to do all our testing and say that your financial statements are free from material misstatement. They're in compliance with GAAP and the rules and regulations of the state of New Jersey. And that's kind of where the surplus conversation really starts. New Jersey is New Jersey, and there's a lot of different rules. Although you report under GAAP, the state of New Jersey makes you report your fund balance in various categories, and I'm going to go over them very quickly. Okay, some of the categories are restricted. What that means is there's a restriction outside of the board. You guys can't make a decision. Once you put them into these reserves, they stay there because it's by law. Those restricted categories include capital reserve, which many of you are familiar with. That's where the state allows you to put money away for things that are contained within your long-range facility plan. Okay, and that reserve cannot exceed the local portion of that plan, and what that basically means is the plan also includes certain projects that might have state participation as well. The long-range facility plan includes a lot of different stuff. No district really comes close to that level of funding, so you're within the compliance on that. The maintenance reserve, these are for items in the district's comprehensive maintenance plan. Pretty self-explanatory as well. Maintenance items. This reserve is limited to 4% of the replacement costs of the equipment and stuff in your district. And that's contained on, I guess, Form M1 or M2, M1. Thank you very much, Vince. And you're in compliance with that as well. Colsneck is special. And as a result, they get impact aid because of the base Naval Weapons Stations. Earl, you get this impact aid, okay, for the students that are on Earl that attend your district. That is also allowed to be reserved separately up to the amount of what you get each year. You never know what you're going to receive in impact aid. Okay, the checks come in. Vince and I have been through how they calculate them. We can't necessarily figure it out, but you do get a decent amount of money from the federal government for impact aid, which you can also put into a restricted reserve. This one's a little different from capital or maintenance in as much as you can pretty much spend it on just about anything school related. Beyond that, you have your state unemployment insurance, pretty straightforward. That's for your insurance, state unemployment claims. It comes from employee deductions from their payroll, okay, as well as a district contribution. Then two a little bit more complicated topics, excess surplus, which we went over with the Finance Committee. Excess surplus is a state of New Jersey invention, okay, where they said years and years ago that anything over 2% of your operating expenditures must be used as tax relief 2 years hence. In other words, at 2025, June 30th, we do a calculation, okay, we're required to do this calculation, and anything that's above that 2% gets put into a separate fund balance category and has to be used at a minimum in 2027. So for 2025, 2027, 2 years hence. And so in any particular audit report, you may have excess surplus from the current year or from the prior year, which is going to get used in the succeeding year. It's a little bit complicated, but it is the state of New Jersey. On top of that, you have assigned balances as opposed to restricted. Assigned means that the district is the one that's assigning them. In theory, you can change your mind on this. The most common category here is encumbrances. Those are the orders, purchase orders that are open at the end of the year where we haven't received the goods or services. Under GAAP, they're not an expense. They are reserved as fund balance. July 1st, they go right back into the budget and they get expended in the next year. Happens in every district in the state of New Jersey. In addition, you can also have designated for subsequent years expenditures if you want to give additional tax relief, fund balance as a revenue, in excess of what you have in excess surplus. Again, it's a little bit unwieldy, but those are the categories, and whatever's left over is unassigned surplus, which is the 2% that I'm referring to. So you have your restricted, your assigned, and your unassigned. And a quick tour of where you were, both at June 30th, 2024 and June 30th, 2025. And the categories are, okay, you had about $10 million in surplus at the end of 2024, so June 30, 2024. And that consisted of, very quickly, encumbrances about $795,000, excess surplus, okay, of $545,000, maintenance reserve 1.7, impact aid 2.4, cap reserve 1.6, state unemployment 173. That stays kind of static. Assigned for the subsequent year's expenditures, that's revenue that you're putting into the budget, $1,033,000, and then the 2%, $2,418,000. 1 minute on the 2%. It's with certain adjustments, so it's 2% of the operating expenditures, plus you get to add back things that you didn't anticipate, like extraordinary aid, which we don't know how much we're going to get until the end of the year, and the same thing with impact aid. So they allow that to add us back. So if you look at the calculation, it's more than 2%, but again, within the compliance of the State Department of Education. All right, so that's the $10 million you had at the beginning of the year. It's kind of important to note that July 1st comes and you anticipated $1.4 million of that $10 million in your budget. Okay, it supports your budget as a revenue. In addition, the $795,000 in encumbrances that I talked about rolls right back into the budget. So if the $10,000,007, approximately 2.2 is spoken for. The minute the clock turns July 1st, it's not that it's spent, but it's being used to support your budget and it's being used to cover those encumbrances that were open from the previous year. Going across the columns I have in front of me here, you amended your budget during the course of the year, utilizing your surplus, which again, you're allowed to do. You do it by resolution. We check the resolutions, make sure everything, the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So that came out of your surplus. Then you have revenues that come back into surplus. You have a budget. You decide how much the revenue is going to be. State aid and taxes, very simple. They come in to the penny. We have miscellaneous revenue as a revenue as well. And usually you'll have an excess on that. Two things that drive excesses there are extraordinary aid and the impact aid. And we haven't generally speaking anticipated extraordinary aid, so you're generating back surplus from that, and of course the impact aid. The next category is a category that all school districts use to regenerate surplus for the year. That's unexpended appropriations. You have a budget. It's not a zero-based budget, and there's going to be money left over at the end of the year. In your case, it was about $1.6 million, which is about 5% of your budget. Okay, in my experience, we do about a little over 30 school districts. 3 to 5% is what I see. That doesn't mean that that's the benchmark and you have to be there. Kind of what I see. So you're kind of in line. And that drives money back to the budget. Once all that's done, okay, you have the opportunity, you pass a resolution each year that allows administration to transfer money to these restricted reserves that I referred to before. Okay, your maintenance reserve, capital reserve, impact aid reserve. As a result of that resolution, and with Vince and Mary Jane getting together, they decided to transfer about $1.7 million into these various reserves, all in accordance with the resolution that you guys authorized them to do, and all bringing those reserves to levels that are legal under the State of New Jersey Department of Education rules and regulations. Then GAP allows us to put aside the money that we've already anticipated in 2026 budget, okay, because we anticipate about $750,000 to support 2026. After all that's done, you then apply the excess surplus calculation, this 2% plus calculation. And after that was applied for the year ended June 30th, 2025, there was excess surplus of $1,430,000. So now we'll test the class here. 2025, 1.4 has to be used in 27. Very good, you get a star. So 2 years hence, you have to use that as a minimum. You can use more if you choose to. Okay, that becomes assigned fund balance. So again, at the end of the year, to wrap up the story, you do end up with this $12,556,000. Of that money, okay, 227 is encumbrance. That's already spoken for the succeeding year. Then you have your excess surplus from 2 years ago, $545,000. That would be used in 26, okay? And then the excess surplus I just cited, the 1.4, which is spoken for 27. All three of those are already spoken for. Then you have your restricted reserves, the maintenance reserve at just under 1.7, cap reserve at 3.5, I'm sorry, that's impact aid, 3.5, cap reserve 2.6. State unemployment, like I said, we're very fortunate. We haven't had a lot of issues with bills for unemployment, so that kind of stays very static, 173. Designated for subsequent years expenditures, there that is, that's an assigned piece. You decided to go above the amount that you had to use, the excess surplus, and use some additional surplus of yours in 2026 of $204,000, and then the 2% left over, $2,072,000. And so it's just kind of important. I think one of the reasons I'm here tonight is just to explain. You see a number and you see $12 million, okay? And it's an interesting thing. As I sat preparing for this evening, I looked back over the last 5 years. It's a little up and down, but it's very consistent. It's a little bit over $12 million. Various categories in each year, okay, to break down each individual category, but it's very consistent with what you do. And the thing that I always say to the Finance Committee is when you are planning your budget, and I know you have your budget hearing tonight, is making sure that what you're using in surplus you plan to regenerate in the next year. That's key, because with your revenues the way that they are, state aid is not going to change. Okay, it's a revenue. It's an important revenue, you guys, but it's really probably not going to go up or down that much. Hopefully it goes a little bit up. Okay, and you have your taxes. Okay, all you really have other than that, this little bit of miscellaneous money, is fund balance. So you do want to make sure, and I kind of just tell my clients, make sure you're looking at that and making sure that you can generate it in the next period. That's the story of fund balance for 2025. Again, important takeaways here is that we audited this, and this is all in conformance with the State Department of Education. You got a clean opinion on this. Your financial statements have a clean opinion. That's super important to know. So I'll pause here and take a deep breath and see if there's any questions from the board that I can answer.
First, before I get angry?
No, Mr. Scale.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, knowing this, what you just presented, eloquent, phenomenal. Would you define $12 million in reserves as a slush fund?
So I will say this, and just to put myself, I am the independent, I understand your question. Yep. I am the independent auditor, and I have to do my best not to have opinions. I can tell you this, that when I look at the way that your fund balance is allocated, as compared to my other districts, what you're doing is very, very common, putting money into these reserves. Okay, that's not my opinion. You could look. I do many in Monmouth County. You can go look at the reports online. Each year, the districts have difficult decisions to make, where they have to balance what they're going to have in fund balance available for tax relief, as opposed to what they have for the future. Okay, we have buildings here in Coles Neck that need repairs. Okay, and you guys know this is not my opinion. You should. Okay, I'm getting into opinion again. You want to make sure that you have money available for those issues. And that's the hard thing. It's a matter of philosophy, okay? At the end of the day, how much you want to have in those reserves as how much you want to put back into tax relief. But I can tell you that looking at the balance sheet here, very common practice.
And then as far as tax relief is ultimately defined, having a flat balance, having a flat percentage, having a flat dollar amount, that would also be tax relief, correct?
again, I think, I'll speak as a taxpayer, not as your auditor representative. Certainly, if I had a 0% tax increase, I'd be pretty pleased with what's been going on across. And again, you can look across the state and see what's going on in the different increases. I will share a story with you that I was talking to one of my other districts, and they asked me specifically about Colts Neck, and they were very surprised that you had a 0% increase.
Yeah, exactly. So knowing what you know about the town, Colts Neck kind of having a target on its back with, overdevelopment, there's a lot of things that the district needs to be prepared for. So ultimately what you've presented here today is essentially a very self-sufficient ecosystem, I would define it as, right, where we are healthy and prepared for what essentially could possibly happen in the future. Would you agree with that statement?
That's correct, but I would go back again to philosophy. That has been the philosophy of the district. I've been here for many moons now, unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say. And that has always been kind of the philosophy. Many districts share that philosophy. Other folks have different ideas of what they'd like to do as well. But to do that, let me put it to you this way. To not fund the reserves and to do the tax decrease, if you were to do that, you would really want to be prepared to make sure you're regenerating that in the next year. I keep going back to that. If you thought you could do that, you would have lower taxes but not have the reserves. That's a decision that could be made, and each side has its own balance to it. But the key, and I always harp on this, and the folks that have been on the Finance Committee know this, regenerate your surplus, and that way you end up with a more steady flow of taxes, shall we say. But again, I think really at the end of this, it's truly philosophical, but obviously what the district has been doing has been working for it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Not a problem at all.
I have a question, reference to our strong financial health and standing and reserves, restricted capital reserves. Let's just get a little bit better. How does it relate to our credit rating, which I think is extremely important for going out for bond issuance, purchases?
I won't speak as a bond counsel or a financial advisor or certainly Moody's or Standard & Poor's. I do know this strong financial position, strong surplus is probably one of the most important elements to a bond rating. The other thing that's truly important is the consistency with which you utilize your surplus, being on bond rating calls and knowing this. So they're looking for a track record. Some folks have an actual policy as to how much surplus they're going to use. Sometimes that's a slippery slope because you don't want to tie your own hands. But at the same time, even if you don't have a policy, you can illustrate it through a trend. Okay, and as I just kind of pointed out over the last 5 years, it's pretty where you're landing this year is very indicative of where you've been over the last 5 years. And I would imagine, although I'm not a bond counsel, that they probably look pretty favorably upon that.
Thank you.
I have a question. I'm not sure you could answer this because I'm not sure what districts you work in, but when you, if you could compare us to, let's say, Homedale, Jackson, Hackensack, and the issues that they're facing financially, how would you rate this district on how we do fiscally?
Yeah, that's a tough one. If you're expecting me to say, 10 stars, the 10 gold stars, I can't.
I expect you to say 20 gold stars.
Listen, I'm a tough cookie when it comes to that. You guys do fine, okay? Obviously, we only have to pick up the newspapers and see there are districts, and none of them are mine. I'm pretty lucky in that respect, that are really, really experiencing fiscal distress. In our own county, we know that there are districts that are out there selling school buildings. The thing about selling a school building is you can only sell it once. Okay, that's when I start talking about regenerating surplus. So these districts, and I'm not picking on them, a lot of that has to do with the state aid, which is also an issue that we've seen in the newspapers on, and the suburban districts and how that allocation is coming out. I believe that in S2, which didn't directly affect you guys, really is a big driver of some of these places. You see Middletown, you see Jackson, you see Freehold Regional. They were all greatly impacted by S2 and the reduction in state aid. And Jackson, I think, actually work on it. I've kind of watched that situation. I don't work there anymore, but I've watched that situation kind of unfold. It's driven in that particular case by state aid. The district, at least when I was there, was very well run, driven by state aid. And that's the concern when you're trying to put the budget together and you have such uncertainty, okay, on state aid in particular. It's a challenge. And then on the appropriation side, you have special education, for instance, where you don't know, depending upon who moves in and moves out of town, what you're dealing with. It's very different. I do municipal audits as well. Their budgets are challenging as well, don't get me wrong. But it's a little bit more even, whereas the school district's got a little bit more uncertainty in it. But it's the state aid, I think, that really, and actually I'll bring one more thing up that me and Vince, if you went back a few years ago with the impact aid was part of this, remember the sequester from whatever, 8 years ago, 9 years, 10 years ago. That was on the chopping block. Mr. Marasco was looking at the newspaper every day to find out whether we were going to lose that money. If you were to lose that money, if they were to cut extraordinary aid, which is always, extraordinary aid is another funny thing that at the state of New Jersey, you do your calculation. This is for additional excess costs on special education kids. They do the calculation, they figure out how much you deserve, and then they say, we'll give you 68% this year. Okay. And you don't know what that number is until May. Am I right with that? May? Okay. So you have uncertainties, okay, between state aid, and I just named impact aid, extraordinary aid, that make it difficult, and it's kind of a little bit of a moving target when you're doing a school district budget.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mrs. Cameron?
Yeah, looking at our current budget right now, for what's going to surplus, because I get asked this question a lot, how much could have gone back to like the taxpayer if we wanted to cut the tax?
Sure. So it's a good question. Okay, so right now, actually, I don't have the 27. Remember, I'm giving you 25 information. I'm a year behind. You almost caught me there.
Sure.
So what it kind of comes down to is I just talked about the fact that you put $1.7 million into your reserves, which left you at the 2%.
Okay.
So in theory, you could have probably taken $1.7 million and used that as tax relief and not funded your reserves. In theory, you could have gone further and gone under that 2%, which I don't necessarily know that I would advise. Okay. But again, it's the trade-off that we were talking about before. By doing that, then your reserves are lower.
Exactly.
And if you're comfortable with the level of reserves, is there some type of mix in there? I don't know. That's the philosophical part of it. That's the hard work that you folks have to do that I personally am not involved in.
And as you said before, we could end up having to raise taxes next year if we eat up reserves that we do have and lower the tax.
Another good question. So if you go to next year, and let's just say the budget gets tighter, and it's something that I have seen happening, and you don't lapse 5%, you lapse 3%. Okay, that's going to hurt. If you don't get as much extraordinary aid, because the state decides they're going to give you 51% instead of 68%. If they decide down in Washington they're not going to give us as much impact aid. Okay? And I'm not trying to cry wolf here because the district has done fabulously. I'm knocking on wood here. You've done very, very well, but they're unknowns is the point. So your point is well taken that the surplus could go down, and if the surplus goes down, you literally can't use the same amount of surplus to support the budget in the succeeding year because you didn't regenerate it.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
So on the presentation, we have a slide that says throughout the entire state of New Jersey, Colts Neck received the 4th highest cut of state aid, negative 5.4% from the prior year. So I just want to make the public aware there's a petition online called Save Our Schools, Fix the Formula petition, and it's on social media, and to have members of the community sign it, as well as to email our senators and assemblymen. And then I was just wondering if you have any suggestions for not only Colts Neck, but all your school districts of how to maybe get a more balanced and fair formula.
I've gotten a lot of tough questions before, but I don't think I've ever gotten that one. I don't know. I think that it's probably more complicated than any of us give it credit for. I remember I do work for Freehold Regional. They actually asked, and I think they sued the state of New Jersey to get the secret sauce as to what the formula actually is, and they said that it was proprietary and you can't have it. I don't know. I see what's going on across the state. I mean, I think everybody even down in Trenton realizes it's got to change in some way, shape, or form, but I think it's for greater minds than mine.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Okay. All right. Wrapping up the questions. Anybody else? Okay. Well, that will be it at this time. I just want to thank you for coming out tonight and painting a clearer picture of our finances. So thank you very much. Okay, at this time, we're going to proceed with the budget presentation. I'm going to introduce Dr. Garibay to start with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. This should only be about 2.5 hours. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true at all. But we do want to provide a very thorough and meaningful component of this. The In terms of the presentation, as I mentioned before, it's very important that we have students here with us. It is extremely important that we have students here with us on this night because they are the focus of all that we do. The budget is a story. It is first generated in conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. If the board members would like to join us in the front of the day, so you don't have to, I'm sorry, no, please. Absolutely. My apologies. So the members of our Board of Education are people who sit with us side by side, hearing the story, because I think that one of the things, in addition to the operations of how things work for government entities, specifically school districts, is very eye-opening. It's a process for learning how school works. Things take a lot longer. Things cost a lot more. And it takes really a lot of commitment and understanding and time. So I want to first, on behalf of the district, of the staff and administration, thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts and your willingness to participate with us in this process, because it's a big one and it's one of the most important ones that we do. So thank you for this opportunity. So when we talk about mission, we talk about this budget. This budget is our mission in action. That's what it is. And I know that usually every Board of Education meeting, we start out with our mission statement. So if you'll indulge me for a minute, our mission is to empower and inspire students to be confident, creative, self-sufficient learners who maximize their strengths and talents and contribute as responsible participants in their ever-expanding world. We saw that in action today. We saw that. We saw sixth graders who are 11 years old standing up and talking about wanting to be excited about what they want to do and their vision for their schools. We saw eighth graders who are excited to talk about all the things that they're bringing to life, a vision brought to life. We're doing that, and each student does that in their own way. And that path, that way, is funded by the annual budget and what we do here. The people who work here, the programs we have to support their growth, the measures we have in place to show that growth, the communication tools we have, it's all part of it. In addition, at its core, the New Jersey Constitution talks about a thorough and efficient system of free public schools for children ages 5 through 18. At its core, this means that the state has a constitutional obligation to ensure every child, regardless of where they live, has access to a high-quality education that adequately prepares them for citizenship. In Colts Neck, we don't stop at adequate, okay? You saw that tonight. Over 80 students, high honor roll at Cedar Drive Middle School, something that we should be very, very proud of. New Jersey's Constitution guarantees that every child is entitled to more than just a seat in a classroom, more than just a textbook. They're entitled to more, and every year we push ourselves, our teams, our teachers, our Board of Education, our community sets a bar that goes beyond just expectations, just a seat in the classroom. Because I would never, ever want any child in our district just to think that they are just someone filling a seat in this classroom. And I think this budget and all that we do every year shows that that's not, we do so much more. So where does it start? It starts with planning. You know, there's a lot of effort. Currently, we have a 5-year strategic plan. We're in year 4 of our 5-year. The board sets goals. Every year, we set district goals. The building has goals. Everything feeds off of it. Our teachers have goals every single year that aligns. And when you are making decisions about what to fund and how to fund it, they are aligned with those goals. And that's part of the process. It's not something that we like to be very goal-centered. What is it contributing it to? How is it supporting student achievement? How is it supporting student success? All of the things that go into it. So in our current strategic plan, we have student learning outcomes, number 1. Number 2, finance and facilities, communications and partnerships, whole child and wellness, and engaging staff. And detailed explanation of each one of those goals is available on our website. Where else do we want to see it? We want to see our mission in action based on how we're compared. The most public display of our performance and of our mission is in our state testing. And while it is only one measure, it's one of many, and I always caution everyone to look at a number because you're thinking of a child. Each one of these numbers represents children in our district. And when you see the growth, and the yellow represents the state, and the blue represents Colts Neck, in meeting and exceeding, this is all grade levels 3 through 8 in mathematics, you can see that we far outperform our colleagues, our other school districts. That slide is also the same, although we can't compare to the states because we're a middle school that offers geometry and algebra to our students. And every year, consistently, we can go back in time for a really long period of time, but we went back from to 22, 23. You can see how our students are meeting or exceeding in Algebra 1 and geometry year after year. And in case you can't see that from home, that's 100% in 22, 23, and 24, 25. And a very, very similar and proud slide for ELA language arts. Looking at the yellow is our state and blue is Colts Neck. So that is our budget in action. That is a very public display. That is something that everybody can look up on the Department of Education website. You want to learn more, any of us would be happy to tell you the story behind each one of those numbers because we know it. Another way that we also see our mission in action is through our public accomplishments. Our public accomplishments, things that say, yeah, we're really proud of that and we worked hard for that. This isn't just an award. There's actions and there's requirements that went through our recent designation as a Purple Star schools for serving our military affiliated, being a military affiliated community. This is about programs, outreach, communication, supports, all of the things that go into that, and all of it is funded through the budget, whether it's different initiatives, but more importantly, it's brought to life by the people that are supported by the budget who make these things happen. So that's a really important reminder. We are in the business of people, little people, okay, all different kinds of people, but we are in the people business, and when you're doing really good work and supporting it in the right ways, these are the very public demonstrations of our budget in action. We also take on different projects. We think of different ways to do things. And a long time coming in a lot of planning, Mr. Marasco, Mr. Moretta, the Board of Education's lots of conversations, and me personally as a superintendent learning about things that I didn't even understand. I had no idea what a univentilator was before I became a superintendent of schools. I do now. But we have aging schools. We had a 60th birthday for Cedar Drive. We've got a almost 60-year-old elementary school. And if you think about it, 300 to 400 people, little people, big people, go through it every single day for 181 days, using the facilities, using the water, flushing the toilets, all the things, the roof gets rained on all year long, just like your home, okay? It needed repairs. We went out for some really important work in 18. We went first in 2019. We went out to the public for bond referendum. Those referendums went down, okay? We listened to the public. We regrouped and said, what are we going to do? We've got to think of doing it a different way. So what we did, we explored an energy savings improvement program, or an ESIP, which you've heard mentioned many, many times at our Board of Education meetings. So in that element, by going through an energy conservation, an energy audit, if you will, first, and then engaging with an energy savings company, and going through the process and identifying what we can do to save some energy, take some really big energy saving conservation steps. How can we self-generate all of these programs that we want to? And with Kevin Walsh and board member, head of Buildings and Grounds, and prior board members who were on board, and you taking over and getting on board for what this means for our district, $10 million in facility improvements that were not needed to be approved by at zero tax impact for the board, for the town, zero. And that takes a lot of work. And to go back to what Mr. Swisher was talking about too, that was us rethinking and that concept and use of surplus, because $6 million of that was to add air conditioning and make HVAC improvements to the 2 buildings at Cedar Drive and Elementary School that didn't have them. So when you look at that, nowhere in the world would you be able to get 2 schools with HVAC improvements and air conditioning for $6 million, but we were able to do it through this. So I congratulate Mr. Marasco, Mr. Moretta, the board for really going along this different way of thinking about funding programs for our schools and improvements. What else did it give us? At the end of the day, you receive incentives. There's energy from JCP&L, from energy companies to the tune of $530,000 in in incentives. There's also an educational value. DCO who was our energy savings company, runs a program called Competitive Edge, where we're going to be bringing in information to our students about energy conservation, the solar panels, all of the things that we do. So there's an educational component so that we can continue to not just do the things, but talk about the things and why they are important to our students and school community. So I talked about our budget in action and doing all the things that we do, but this slide to me means the most. And when I tell you that this is a summary or preview, because I do think that all the things that our annual budget does, I could go on for 2.5 hours about all the things that we do and all the people who work here. And I would welcome any opportunity to do that. I promise you, President Volpe, I will not do that tonight. So here's some of the things, and these are the highlights. Maintaining our academic programs, extracurricular activities, character education, social and emotional learning, and our school's counseling services. Delivering high-quality programs, related services, and supports for students with disabilities. Supplying research-based instructional materials, assessment tools, assistive technologies, and supplies. Retaining staff. This is a big deal, retaining our staff. We are very fortunate that our teachers, and it's very appropriate that we say this on Teacher Appreciation Week, are second to none. Second to none. And our ability to support them and provide them with the resources that they need to make them want to stay here and work with our children here in Colts Neck is a true credit to the efforts that we put forth to support them as the professionals that they are. Providing data-driven, sustained professional development and staff training, transitioning and supporting our students and families residing on Earl, equipping students and staff with effective instructional technologies and software, also being mindful of the component of that is cybersecurity and all the things that go along with that, because that's an entire back-end component that also goes into that. Offering supplemental programs for support, enrichment, intervention, and summer learning, which includes both of our summer bridge and our extended school year program. Facilitating communications with families in the community, email, Genesis Parent Portal, all of those things go into an effort to keep open lines of communication with our parents and families. Transporting students in a reliable and safe manner. What I just said about the teachers, I'll say about our bus and our transportation department. They are our employees, they are our buses, and we have an outstanding fleet of buses and drivers and supports there. So again, that's another credit to our district. Serving high quality food. I know that Sophia talked about her efforts in talking with Pomptonian and all the things that go into that. We make a choice every year about this menu, and we look at it and we say, what can we do that's different? To give kids experience, freshly baked muffins, fruit choice every day, vegetables every day, healthy minds, healthy bodies, healthy kids. And that's an effort, and we work very hard to work with Pomptonian, partner with our food service management company to do so. Furnishing safe and engaging learning environments, facilities. Safety first. There's nothing more important than the safety of our students and staff on a regular basis, and we commit funds every year to doing so. Our partnership with Colts Neck Police Department and all that entails our security monitors, everyone plays a role. Every single person in this district plays a role in security. And the training and the efforts and the supplies and the drills and everything that goes into that is included in this budget. I also want to talk about funding the unexpected. That's in this budget. And that's what we referred to it as we were talking about. I really did appreciate the words that Mr. Swisher shared, because we have a lot of the unexpected. I'm going to tell a story that, if you'll indulge me for a second. Back in November 2025, we have a water pump that breaks at the back of Conover-Red Elementary School, the main water pump. I get a call from our facilities manager. We have no water. And in case you didn't know, no water, no school. That's not what happens. So thought process, thinking out loud, troubleshooting, going through all the motion, a very quick triangulated conversation between myself, Mr. Moretta, Ms. Rasco, and then a very quick, decisive outreach to Mr. Walsh when I say to him, sir, this is what I need. And because we had reserve funds, as they talked about, we were not only able to have it immediately fixed the next day, but thinking outside the box, we had a gigantic water truck that supplied water to the building that allowed 300 students to continue to come to school when we had an operational water pump. That's what those reserves do. That we couldn't have anticipated that. We couldn't have planned for that. But because we had fiscal foresight, we were able to address it. And that's just one of thousands of things that happen every single year in a district. A budget, we get as close as we can. We get quotes for things, but remember, we're getting them in March, in April. We all know what inflation looks like. We all know what CPI looks like. By the time we go buy it, it's more expensive. We pay for our own gas. Let that sit in for a minute, okay? We're doing things to look at that. We're going through all of those processes. Just like your own personal expenses, you have to double it and quadruple it and all of the things because of purchasing laws that require us to do things a certain way. And those unexpected, unanticipated things are what have to be managed so well. You make your best efforts to get as close as possible to what you're going to spend. You say, this is what I need, this is what we need to operate our schools and to provide not just an adequate seat for students, but the excellence that the Colts Neck Township Schools is known for on a regular annual basis. This is a cycle. The budget is a cycle, and it's a never-ending cycle. It will be hopefully voted on tonight for the Board of Education, and then tomorrow it goes to the DOE, and then we start Mr. Swisher in the summer coming back to audit the 25-26 school year, and that starts and goes on until the fall. And right about October, November, we start thinking about the 27-28 budget next year, and we start looking at our staffing and the needs and the projections and how many students we have and what was the rotation in Earl and how many new students with disabilities are we taking in new IPs, what are those services, do they need a one-to-one aid, are they an out-of-district student, any of the adaptive, all of those things that we could have never anticipated in March of 2026. We now have to think about how we're going to do it because the students are here and we want to give them the best experience possible. We can't say, sorry, people, we don't have the money to do that. That's not an option for the students in this district. So we go through this cycle. Right there, there's a We Are Here marker that says BOE oversight and approval. There's a lot of that. The board has that oversight. That's why that time, those efforts for the board to learn and absorb and process and give opinions and feedback back. Because every year, board members, current, past, future, will give a perspective, a community perspective, something that says, hey, I'm in this field, this is how we think about it. Hey, this is what that is. And while that's not their role as board members, that idea, it's about conversation, okay? And to that extent, all the way through this are our staff members and our outstanding team of administrators and program directors who are here with us tonight, because this would not happen and come to fruition. This development also wouldn't happen to you. So if I could pause for a minute and thank all of you for all the hard work that you do every year, not just asking for what you need, but advocating for what you need. This district has the strongest leaders who are dedicated to advocacy for children and what they need, and that's why we continue to move forward as a district. So at this time, we're going to close the cycle, and from my part, and I'm going to turn it over to Vincent Marasco, our school business administrator. I know that it's time to get up. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, but to that end, who will go into much more of the fiscal management and preparation and details of the budget. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Garibay. I have a lot of notes and numbers, so do we need a stretch now, or? This won't be another 2 hours, but I do have a lot to get through, so, okay. Here we go. Okay. I always like to start with this basic framework of the school budget, showing the two sides. Conceptually, revenues are the financial resources of a district, while the appropriations are commitments of expenditures. And the board must follow two basic rules in any budget year, that revenues equal the appropriations which is a balanced budget, and number 2, that the tax levy revenue must be within a statutory 2% cap, inclusive of certain allowable adjustments. And this balanced budget concept applies not only to the general fund, as we commonly know it as Fund 10, Fund 11, but also the Special Revenue Fund, which is a Fund 20 under GAAP accounting, and also the Debt Service Fund, which is Fund 40. So that's the framework. Now, every year, there are some unique and reoccurring budget considerations that factor into preparing a one-year budget. And these are just some of the appropriation needs and considerations that are part of the 26-27 budget. As you can see, healthcare and insurance costs continue to escalate. We have needs for 2 buses, various maintenance equipment, and an electronic scoreboard for the Cedar Drive Middle School that are budgeted this year as an equipment lease. We're also funding the summer bridge program that Dr. Garibay talked about, and also have a budget for the charter school tuition that we are obligated to pay. And of course, in all of this, we operate in a general inflationary environment with the CPI being 3.58%. So in addition to the budget factors each year, overall, a local school district is charged with delivering on the state mandate, which is to provide the thorough and efficient education. So these things are some of the means at our disposal to realize cost savings and the efficiencies. This year, the first 3 items here are sources of revenue that the budget is using to achieve the $0 tax levy increase. Okay, and in total, we're recognizing over $3.8 million from fund balance as revenue in the 26-27 budget. This is from a combination of reserve funds and surplus, which I'll expand on shortly. And you've heard Mr. Swisher briefly talk about that earlier. The other items highlight efficiencies gained through utilizing purchasing cooperatives, pooled insurance funds, as well as other things that we use here, instructional coaches, and providing in-house professional development. Okay, before we get to the final budget, I am procedurally required to discuss at this public hearing all changes recommended since the board's tentative budget approval. And in this regard, and as an outcome of the County Department of Ed's budget review process, the district is changing the amount of interest revenue budgeted for both its maintenance reserve and its capital reserve funds. This change is simply to be more aligned with the history of interest that is allocated to the respective funds over the past several years. The recommendation is to change the interest to $25,000 for the maintenance reserve and $50,000 for the capital reserve. Okay, this change affects the 2 revenue lines, which are in yellow of the advertised budget, as well as the equal offset to the budgetary appropriation advertised lines in red. And so the total budgetary change to note at this public hearing is $71,000. Okay. Now, as we show the revenue side of the budget compared to current year, and there are 2 slides of this, you will see the local tax levy is about 74% of total revenues. And the board's goal was achieved by keeping the tax levy flat. Okay, you will see the tax impact of this further on in one of the last slides. Now, it's worth noting that by keeping the tax levy flat for over the last 3 years, the district has forfeited over $2.3 million of allowable taxing authority. Again, by not raising the tax levy to the allowable cap. So there you go. The New Jersey state aid has declined from prior year. You will see this 2 slides from now, that some of the categories increased, other categories decreased. And the district is supporting its budgeted revenues by budgeting approximately 2/3 of the most recent Extraordinary Aid Award for the 24-25 year. In addition, we're budgeting this year $620,000 of federal impact aid based on historical trends. So this is new for the district for this year, but again, it's another revenue source that we are anticipating in the 26-27 budget. And continuing on, this shows our use of fund balance for 26-27. So Mr. Swisher talked about this, and while the district is not budgeting unassigned fund balance as revenue, the district is supporting the revenues with excess surplus, right, as defined by the NJDOE regulations that are calculated in that excess of the 2% of prior year's general fund budget. So of the $2.6 million figure that you see on the second row, middle column, $1,430,848 is the figure that Mr. Swisher talked about, which was the excess surplus, the audited number as of June 30th, 2025. That must be budgeted in the 26-27 school year. And $1,173,180 is additional fund balance that the budget program forces you to budget as revenue. It's more excess surplus or surplus in general, okay? So that makes up that number. Additionally, we're using a portion, like Mr. Swisher talked about, of restricted fund balance reserves. For 26-27, we're budgeting $475,000 of maintenance reserves, as well as $740,000 of impact aid reserves, making up the $1.2 million there. Okay, other miscellaneous revenue category represents various anticipated and estimated revenues. It's made up of 4 bus runs we provide to Marlboro School District, about $149,000. We recognize one-on-one device fee revenue each year of about $30,000. We bill the township for gasoline use because we do the purchasing, and we're approximating $112,000 from the township as on that billing. We're also recognizing federal E-rate revenue and some income from facility use. Okay, since we've been talking about fund balance as part of the revenues here, hopefully that print is not too small on this slide, but it's somewhat of a repeat to what Mr. Swisher described as far as our fund balance picture at year-end, June 30th, 2025. And it's to show the categories that the district had, and it reflects most of the fund balance activity through March of 2026. So I just want to point out that we spoke about that $12 million figure that was the June 30th balance. We're sitting right now at about $9.7 million, but we haven't finished operations for this current year. And as shown on the previous slide, we've committed about $3.8 million of fund balance to the 26-27 budget. Okay, now we talk about state aid relative to last year's. So here we go. The first 3 primary types of aid are categorical aid, meaning it's distributed to districts based on specific student or district characteristics of the local, regardless of the local community's wealth. And it's essentially calculated by the school funding formula, which is the School Funding Reform Act. The state military aid is supplemental funding based on specific district needs. And since we educate students from Naval Weapons Station Earl, the state calculates based on a formula. As you can see, it was reduced from last year because of the count went down from 62 students to 52 students for next year. It's also worth noting, and it's not on this slide, that Colts Neck does not receive any equalization aid, which is actually the largest component of state aid for districts throughout New Jersey. And that's simply because our budget is over the state constructed adequacy budget, which is really the amount deemed by the state of New Jersey to provide a thorough and efficient education. And it's also based on the fact that our local fair share, which is a fancy way of saying the wealth of Colts Neck, is too high. So your adequacy minus your local fair share, is your equalization aid, to which Colts Neck receives 0. So that's our state aid picture. Now, as we get into the other side of the budget, which are the appropriations, hopefully we're staying awake at this point. Yes? All good? Okay. These are the advertised categories or groups of budget appropriations, and they're compared to the prior budget. So, start at the top. Instruction. This is the general education program, including basic skills, bilingual, co-curricular, all your clubs, band. We have some new advisor and club stipends for 26-27. It includes athletics and also the summer bridge program. They're grouped into that category for this purpose. Special education. This grouping includes the collective instructional programs for students with IEPs and out-of-district tuition. Most of the increases here is from contracted support services necessary to support the autistic program next year. Student support services. This category includes attendance and social work, health services, speech, OTPT, and related services. All our one-on-one aids, guidance and child study teams, curriculum and instruction, and staff training. And within each of those categories I just mentioned, some of the common costs include, obviously, salaries, stipends, substitutes, purchase services, and all the supplies and consumables needed for these programs. Operations and maintenance of plant. Okay, this is Mr. Moretta's expertise here. This includes custodial and maintenance salaries, lunch aids, grounds maintenance, utilities, property liability and auto insurance, contracted services for repairs and maintenance, and all of our security costs, to name a few. There are a number of increased repairs and maintenance items across the district that we are addressing next year, such as we're going to be repairing the Cress library floor and the CDMS cafeteria solarium, including in operations and maintenance is our lovely wastewater treatment plant. It's a big expense to run that in this building, as well as the septic systems across the other two facilities. So one of the, perhaps almost the largest aspect of the increase in operations and maintenance is the energy budget. We're budgeting almost 52% higher than last year. A lot of that has to do with the general marketplace of energy and the fact that, you know, while we have an energy savings improvement plan, we have things in place to conserve energy, we're also using now air conditioning in all our buildings. So we have to provide for that budgetary impact. Okay. Last but not least, I'm sorry, yes, administration and central offices is the administrative staff, central office, its principals, support staff, New Jersey School Boards Association group membership, board trainings and workshops, postage and advertising, audit and legal fees, communications, central office software, as well as professional liability insurance. And continuing on, we have employee benefits. This is the employer share of Social Security taxes, pension obligations, workers' comp insurance, medical, prescription, dental insurance, tuition reimbursements, unemployment compensation, and retirement benefits. Our transportation, again, is in-house. We have a complete vehicle fleet maintenance because we employ 2 mechanics. We have driver salaries, aides, regular, special ed, and athletic transportation routes, as well as aid in lieu payments. And finally, our capital outlay is where budgeted equipment and facilities construction activity is budgeted. Next year, it includes $40,000 of School Development Authority, state assessment, and as said earlier, we're replacing this original floor as well as some cafeteria tables. That was on one of the first slides where we talked about budget factors. So that's in this budget. It also includes the increase to the capital reserve interest that I talked about earlier from the revenue slide. Charter school is based on 2 students attending charter school next year. The district is responsible to provide the tuition for that under law. And so our total, and then there's the maintenance reserve interest. So our total general fund budget is increasing by just over 11%. And again, part of this overall cost drivers are increases in salaries and benefits, commercial insurance, premium increases, pension obligations, and all the facilities operations. Okay, so this extraordinary multicolored pie chart shows the appropriation categories I just spoke about, pictured as a percentage of the total budget. And as you can see, if you look at the support services, the special ed, and the general education categories, that they provide for district direct student instructional services, which is about 55% of our budget. And finally, we get to the tax levy comparison. There are 2 components to the tax levy. One is the general fund and the debt service fund. The general fund tax levy was the revenue stream I discussed earlier. The debt service relates to voter-approved, pre-existing bonded debt or refinancing over the years that we must annually service the principal and interest payments, like a mortgage. Now, we'll have paid off our bonded debt by February of 2027. So we have 2 more annual payments remaining. It's important to note as we move forward and look forward to the 27-28 budget. So combined, the total tax levy has a very slight decrease from prior year. How does this relate to actual tax impact for the community? Estimated tax impact is expressed as an increase or decrease relative to last year. Now, our total tax rate is the total levy requested, which was that 24 million, same number as last year, divided by the tax base, which is the total net valuation taxable of Colts Neck Township, or better known as the rateable property. And that's a figure that's obtained from the tax assessor in Colts Neck. And a tax rate is based on every $100 of assessed valuation. The rate is applied to the average assessed home value, not market value. Very important. So you can see our total tax rate, the general fund and the debt service, is a rate of 0.5378. It's a decrease of about 4 cents from last year. Now, as you can see, even when there's a decrease, even when the tax rate reduction is applied to increasing ratables and rising average assessed home values, there's still an increase to the tax impact. Very small one, but it still results in a positive tax impact. So for next year, the total tax rate of 0.5378 means that for every 100,000 of assessed valuation, there would be approximately $538 in school taxes from this district. And, oh, this goes back to Dr. Garibay at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marasco. One of the things that we talk about in terms of the Board of Education's roles and responsibilities, in addition to fiscal oversight, is participation. And tonight, Mr. Brian Scarpa, who is a co-chair of the Finance Committee, will be speaking from the perspective of the board about the 26-27 annual budget and the board's involvements. Mr. Scarpa.
I'm going to switch things up a little bit. Okay, so we heard from our auditor. He gave us an excellent baseline presentation of where we're at for our ending 25 budget, and it was a consistent message of fiscal responsibility and security by this town. Job well done, and thank you, sir. We heard from our administrative staff, Dr. Garibay, Mr. Marasco, who spoke about the details of what goes on behind the scenes to build out this program on a yearly basis, and it needs to be consistent. We are not in here just for 1 year at a time. It's a 3, 5, 10-year program. And as described by the details, there's a lot of moving targets and information, so it's no small task to get this job done well and get it done right. There's very little opportunity to make a mistake in this process because there are always headwinds in the state, in the federal obligations, and what we're experiencing, especially in an aging facility environment. And bringing that all in, we have a fantastic board of 9 dedicated, all volunteer taxpayers here, and it's my privilege to be part of this team. So I want to take a step back and reintroduce this board and talk about its opportunity with the town and, more importantly, our go-forward strategy. That being said, the state of our schools is strong. There are a few key board responsibilities. I want to focus on what we do and what we don't do. That's absolutely imperative. Right out of the gate, there's a superintendent oversight responsibility. And this is an annual conversation that we have with Dr. Garibay. We believe we have the very, very best in the business right over there, and we want to keep it that way. But it's a dialogue between the board and Dr. Garibay and her staff to make sure that our district's goals are aligned with her goals, and making sure that that translates down to our teachers and staff and the rest of our student base. Absolutely imperative. We have a budget approval and tax setting process. That's what this is today. This is not a 2-week, 3-week program. This is many, many months in the program, in the process, and having it to get to this point is what it's all about. This sets us up for a better tomorrow. With policy and creation and governance, we have experts on our board that specifically focus on the policies and the opportunities out there in the market. And that's no small task either. So that's a key element of our board responsibilities. Our strategic planning and goal setting is absolutely critical. We are talking about not today, not next week, but how does this facility last a year from now, 3 years from now, and service the community that's going to come in and support these schools. In addition, we have a community representation as well as the academics and curriculum. We're not to undermine the academics and curriculum. It is a cornerstone of our operation here. Maintaining a strong curriculum is absolutely imperative for a strong program. And of course, our community relationship is what it's all about. Our board represents small business owners, former police officer and now state officials. We have a real estate broker. We have finance professionals. We have corporate travel executives. We run the gauntlet of what it means to be a Colts Neck citizen. All of us are taxpayers, and that's why it's absolutely critical that we have this role and responsibility here in the town. What does the board do not do? What are not our responsibilities? The school board members do not have a handle on the day-to-day operations. I cannot stress that enough. We hire professionals to do that job. Our tax dollars go to support the folks that actually support that operation, while the town and the board owns the bus, and they drive the bus. That's absolutely important to remember. We don't manage the school staff. That is their responsibility, and it's one that they do very, very well. We don't handle classroom level hiring, and we are there to operate through governance and setting the course rather than getting involved in the weeds of the day-to-day operation, and that's a good thing. So let's talk about school finances. The school finances is absolutely critical for the foundation of our success. Without a strong balance sheet, without maintaining proper capital reserves, we don't last until tomorrow. Let's talk about our market in our state. Setting this up, we have a strong blueprint of what a better today and tomorrow looks like. We want to maintain a fiscally secure budget, and it's absolutely vital for achieving our financial stability. That goes without saying. We cannot operate unless we're financially stable right out of the gate. Ensuring resources exist for future goals and emergencies. Let's face it, our schools are aging. Our homes age. The other day I had a leak in the roof. You don't just put a bucket out and say, oh, maybe tomorrow it's not going to rain. It will rain tomorrow. Either you fix it or replace it. It's exactly where we're at with our facility program today. So let's keep that in mind as we proceed forward. The Cold Lake Township School District maintains a fiscal focus of responsibility, and we've done this for 3 years. That is not by mistake. There's a reason why we say, you know what? We're going to keep it at a zero tax impact right now. And to Mr. Marasco's point, yes, we forfeited $2.4 million over the past 3 years, but with a reason. We believe that not only can we adjust our current mindset today to operate in our environment, but we have more important things to do tomorrow. And that means digging a little bit deeper and appreciating the fact that we need to get proper supporting, and that might include proper referendum opportunities to support the long-term infrastructure of what we're looking at. Let's talk about the market. It's very, very important to appreciate the market out there. These 11 New Jersey school districts are facing layoffs, tax hikes, and closures to stay afloat. We do not want to be in market news. We're not. Cherry Hill Public Schools is dealing with a projected $14.5 million deficit due to an increase in employee health care costs, which we have, an increase in transportation expenses, which we have. Officials said during a recent board hiring, $14.5 million deficit. While their headwinds are the same as ours, perhaps we're managing a little bit more fiscally responsible. Hackensack Public Schools is preparing to lay off about 100 teachers and staff and raise taxes as it works to close a $24 million deficit. 24. And we're talking about surplus. And we hear from our public about the distribution of excess surplus. Keep that in mind. Jefferson Township school officials say they're nearly $3 million short after making what officials called a distasteful cut to close a deficit. Were they upset about deficits? Absolutely. Did they cut? You bet. But we're upset about what you cut. Where does it end? Let's talk about the 5.4%. Throughout this entire state of New Jersey, Colts Neck received the 4th highest cut of state aid, 5.4% from the prior year. Huntington, Bergen, Ocean from 17%, and there we are at 5.4%. Let the market tell you what we're up against. In addition, our surrounding communities have also received some cuts. Rumson is down 3%, and Fairhaven is actually up 4.95%. Let's put this in perspective of our direct market. That's absolutely critical when you appreciate the numbers. Manalapan, a 6% increase from last year. Freehold Borough is down 3, Upper Freehold up 4.73. Homedale relatively flat at 1.46, and Middletown is up 6%. Some are achieving higher state aids while others are getting impacted in the negative. Let's put this in perspective. This slide tells a lot. These are the top 10 school districts in the state of New Jersey that will receive the most funding in 26 and 27. We're not going to be here. Okay? Newark, Patterson, Elizabeth, Trenton, Camden, Plainfield, Passaic, Union, Perth Amboy, New Brunswick. Those are your top 10%. Those are your top 10. Colts Neck is not there. I want to dial this back to a market, and this means something. I want to focus on 3 important elements: charity, higher education, universities, and our private schools, which is actually a competitor. Okay? Charity. St. Jude's does it well. If you haven't studied the St. Jude's model, please do. They do it very, very well. St. Jude's Children's Hospital has reportedly $5 billion in excess reserve. $5 billion, primarily to ensure long-term financial sustainability, multi-year research projects, and act as a cushion against economic downturns. $5 billion. Could they operate today, tomorrow, and 2 years from now without accepting a single dollar? Absolutely. Could they exist 5 years from now? No way. That's smart fiscal management. Will they continue to do it? Absolutely they will, and they have the supporters behind it. That mission works. Not the same numbers, but the same philosophy applies here. Let's talk about colleges. Harvard, Yale, MIT, Stanford, UPenn, all lead the way in endowments. These numbers are real. These are billions in dollars of endowments. Now, endowments and our reserve fund is not necessarily apples to apples, but the concept is the same. It's putting away for tomorrow so that we can have a tomorrow. These are some of the most successful universities the world has ever seen. What's the commonality? They have an endowment. Do people support it? Yes. Do they show up and go to those schools? Yes. Do they pay high tuitions? You bet they do. Why? Because they support a better tomorrow. Look at the tax base number that Mr. Moretta posed before. Our assessed value has gone up for 6 years. Why? Why are the homes increasing? People want to be here. Why? Because they enjoy the schools, the infrastructure, the support, the lifestyle that Colts Neck affords. Maintain that. Do what they're doing. These schools have it right, and that is our feeder opportunity. Let's talk about our direct market. These are the schools that compete with our public education. Okay, these are the endowments for the private schools. Same philosophy, albeit different numbers. 1 year, 15 years, 30 years out. They're not thinking about today. They're thinking about the long-term sustainability. That's the track that this board is on. Maintaining what works today, but preparing for tomorrow. Cannot stress that enough. With all that being said, there's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why we have 9 dedicated folks on our board who are not compensated and actually spend a lot of their time and treasure to be part of this program. We believe in this school district. We believe in the opportunities that presents itself, and we want your support. And we are always open for candid conversation and discourse. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scarpa. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for our public hearing and joining us for our public hearing. I just want to point out, Colts Neck Township Schools, the pre-K to 8 district, is the largest congregation daily of Colts Neck citizens. It's the largest one. We are the second largest employer in Colts Neck, next to Naval Weapons Station Earl. So when you're thinking about that and thinking about the future, we thank our community, we thank our board, thank our staff members, and thank everyone who continues to support us in every single way. That concludes our presentation. If you'd like to join back to the dais.
Yes. Just see where I'm at. We got to do some information first, just acknowledge this, and then we're going to go over. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, we're just going to wait for everybody to be seated to continue. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all you do. We really appreciate the staff. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I just want to, where did Mrs. Camera go? Oh, she probably went to the restroom. Oh, okay, no worries, thank you. At this time, I just want to acknowledge we have some information items, just one information item there. If we could all take notice, and then we're gonna go right into comments from the public. If anybody would like to come up and make a comment, you are welcome to do so at this time. Yep, please line up. I see a huge crowd.
Allison Denoya, 4 Westminster Drive. I know what goes into making a budget. I've done it a couple of times, and so I know it's a lot of hard work, but there are some questions that I don't know. I think Dr. Garibay or Mr. Marasco could probably answer, and so I'll submit them in writing as well. But just to kind of be thinking as you move forward, here are the questions that I have. How will the loss of the ESSER-funded mental health supports be replaced? What is the impact of reducing instructional assistance on inclusion and behavior support? Is the current level of fund balance use sustainable beyond 1 to 2 years? How will reduced professional development affect curriculum implementation, like the new writing program? And are student support caseloads increasing despite the flat reduced staffing? So those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your comment. Anybody else? Okay. Our last guest of the evening.
Kevin O'Brien, 18 The Enclosure. First off, the board did an outstanding job once again in being...
I'm not sure your mic is on. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I'll start over. The board did an outstanding job once again in being fiscally responsible. I made the same comments last year, so I'm delighted to do it again. More importantly, you're knocking it out of the park with the kids. So that was really nice to see. It's been said I can get a little bit too granular, so please bear with me. If I understand correctly, New Jersey law allows a 2% budget increase, which the board did not take. The Board of Education team maintained a near zero balance over 3 years, effectively saving taxpayers, if my math is correct, $3.2 million. So thank you. That wasn't shared by the auditor. I borrowed one of the 6th graders to help me with the math. There's been some emails and social media about the board's $12.5 million in reserve funds. So thank you for sharing this evening, bringing in the auditor to address some of the questions that are out there, and hopefully that'll calm some of the nonsense that's taking place. From what I've read, the state law does not require unused funds to be returned to the state taxpayers. So thank you for clarifying that as well. Now there's been some far too many false claims by one resident attacking Kevin Walsh over the board of the Colts Neck election. The attacks have been expanded to include the Board of Education. It's been intuitively obvious, even to the most casual observer, the smear campaign against Mr. Walsh now includes targeting the Board of Education, which in my view is reprehensible. One misguided statement was Walsh and his wife could control over $49 million of our tax revenue. With a Walsh win, he will be one of 5 committee members. No single person controls the revenue. It is governed by collective votes in public meetings, which are the primary venue for fiscal oversight. The board's budget is supported by an annual audit for state law, process undertaken by a third-party accounting firm. The board's commitment to financial integrity and transparency, as we've seen tonight, is beyond reproach. If the abrasive approach of the self-appointed campaign manager is reflective of the other 2 candidates, one which was here tonight and left, a Walsh win is a benefit to Colts Neck. His honest, caring, and soft-spoken approach is welcomed by many, including this unaffiliated voter. I don't have a dog in the hunt in this situation. The First Amendment protects the rights to display political signs on private property. This topic was addressed last year by the town attorney. The Walsh signs are in accordance with the law. The First Amendment does not take a time out because a disgruntled senior resident has an axe to grind over Walsh, his wife, or this board. There is no law or ordinance limiting when political signs are allowed to go up. Political signs on private residential property are permitted according to the New Jersey Supreme Court. There are no laws prohibiting the collection of signatures of an election petition on public property. Walsh seeking a place on the ballot is a fundamental part of our democratic process. The senior resident acting like a campaign manager gone bad had no right to interfere, object, and prohibit Kevin Walsh from speaking with residents in Township Hall prior to the public meeting. The Monmouth County Board of Election confirmed Walsh is running in the Republican primary. Kevin Walsh is in fact a registered Republican and one of 3, not 2 Republicans seeking open seats and the public's vote. Voters can visit with Mr. Walsh in person at the Colts Neck Inn on May 12th, starting at 6:30. Hopefully, voters can see through the manure being spread, and a strong voter turnout will take place on June 2nd. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'd like you to just have some remarks to the issues that you brought up. First of all, we had a couple of hundred people here, I would say. We had a couple hundred people, and not only are we passing the budget, one of the most important meetings of the year, but to highlight and honor the students that do so very well and achieve these fantastic accolades. The fact that only 2 people are here to make comments shows me something, that this community is very pleased with how the finances of this district are handled. I'm very, very proud of that. There's not one person up here complaining about where their dollar is spent, how it's spent, or how we handle it. So I appreciate the public, appreciating us and what we do here. I want to make a motion to close public comment, and I'll continue my remarks. To close the public hearing at this time, if we could get a motion, and then I'll continue my remarks after. All right.
Are we all in favor?
All in favor?
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, before we start moving into the action items, I want to continue my remarks on the budget. Just to reiterate again, we all know how long this process takes and all the work that goes into it. I want to personally thank our Finance Committee, consisting of our co-chairs, Mr. Scarpa, Mr. Jason Rico, and Kevin Walsh, for all their unwavering dedication and the hours put in, along with our administration, Mr. Marasco and Dr. Garibay. As you know, this is definitely no easy task to achieve. And the fact that we did it 3 years in a row is just an exceptional target, and we hit it again. And I just want to thank all who was involved. It's just exceptional what's going around in the state of New Jersey, how things are falling apart elsewhere, and we're holding it together here. It's just something to just be so proud of. And I'm absolutely disgusted by the attacks that have been previously made this week to tarnish the reputation of this board in sake of political achievements. So thank you. I'd like to ask the board if they want to add any additional comments at this time in regards to the budget or any comments. You could go ahead.
We could talk about all the millions of dollars in the world. We spend a lot of time about money, where it's spent, where it's going, how we manage it. What's most important to me is how happy our kids are in our schools. Are they smiling when they come home? Are they talking about the school day they had with their teachers? The culture of our school district. Our teachers love our students. We do the best job each and every day to make sure our kids are getting the best education in the world. To me, it's not about money. It's about how happy our kids are, how much they learn, and the smiles on their faces when they get off the school bus.
I just want to piggyback on what you said. Tonight, the most impressive part to me, not only were the students who received these honor rolls, but I hope everyone noticed how they were cheering for each other. And again, that just goes back to what Mr. Walsh said. It's the community and the climate that our educators and our staff has implemented. And I love seeing everyone cheering for each other. They were so proud of each other, and it was just really wonderful to watch.
Anybody else like to add any remarks, questions? No? Okay, great. Let's get moving. Let's approve this budget, guys. I'm very excited. Let's approve this budget. I'm going to make a motion to approve the following action items. Thank you very much. Numbers 1 through 11, including the adoption of the 2026-27 school budget and tax levy, delivering a zero tax increase 3 years in a row. If I could get a roll call.
Second.
Yep, thank you. Yep, roll call. Thank you.
Mrs. Cameron?
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rico? Yes. Mr. Rignetta?
Yes.
Mr. Scales? Yes. Mr. Scarpa?
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Whitberg?
Vince, sorry.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Vince.
Yeah, I think he's got some,
Sorry, I wasn't holding the mic before, and it was quick, sorry. I had to recuse for number 7, but yes for all the rest.
Okay. Thank you very much. The motion did carry unanimously.
great, congratulations, board members. Okay, we have a few communications. Anybody want to take notice? We have 2 of them on there. I believe they were both addressed. And then we're going to move right into our board liaisons report. I know it's been quite lengthy of a meeting. I don't know if anybody has prepared anything. I did recommend that we do not include the committee of a whole work session due to the length of this meeting. So if we want to move into the board liaisons report, if we could please make it brief, since it's pretty late. I don't know if anybody has anything, but Sarah, I'm sorry, Mrs. Horowitz, would you like to comment on your 2 liaison positions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, newsletter, Mrs. Camera. Okay, Mr. Regnetta and Mr. Wickberg, anything on the sports extracurricular?
Yes, just a couple things. Sorry,
Okay,
I'll try to make it real quick.
That's okay.
The Sports Foundation put out that they are that there's a GoFundMe page in support of Emiliano and his family during this tough time. Of course, everyone knows Emiliano's the 11-year-old 6th grader who was involved in the unfortunate and tragic ATV accident, and he's in the hospital, so he's in all of our thoughts and prayers. So there is a GoFundMe page. So please go to the Colts Neck Sports Foundation social media pages or email, and they'll set you up with, send you the link to the GoFundMe page. Spring wrestling is coming back for grades 1 through 5. It's a $60 tuition. There's 35 spots. It'll be Tuesday nights from 5:30 to 7 p.m. starting yesterday. It goes to June 23rd. Just go to your Team Snap to sign up. I believe you can still sign up, so just go to Team Snap to sign up, or wrestling at coltsnecksportsfoundation.com for more information, just to double check that you could still sign up. There was also, on May 2nd, there was vandalism in the parking lot on 5 points to somebody's car. This happened between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. So if anybody has any information about that vandalism that happened, if you have any video on your car that might have gotten it, please send an email to info@coltsnecksportsfoundation.com with any information that you have, or please just go to the Colts Neck Police Department with any information. This is also the last week for the cheer program to sign up, so please go to coltsneckayf.teamsideline.site.com to sign up, or go to ayccheer@coltsnecksportsfoundation.com for more information, and they are doing 6U through 14U divisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wickberg, would you like to add anything to those remarks?
I do not.
No, okay. Moving into the Colts Neck Township Committee, Mr. Walsh. Okay, thank you. This 250 celebration, I believe you have something to report for that? Mrs. Camera, thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next meeting will be tomorrow, May 7th. This is just a reminder to families and Colts Neck High School families that the calendar contest is wrapping up. Please hand in your finished products to Dr. Garibay by May 8th. You could also, if you're still interested, it's on the Colts Neck Township Schools website under the USA 250th. Once again, our senior winner will receive $200 and the cover. Grades K to 11 will receive $100, and the checks will be donated by the Colts Neck Historical Society. We still have our Board of Education video contest under the same tab. We have our patriotic themed field day. I want to compliment, it's beautiful, the flyer. It was in Dr. Garabay's weekly update. So it's Stars and Stripes and Games, June 12th. And I just want to compliment the staff for this wonderful idea. Our 1776 flags, we're still looking forward to being placed at our schools. And once again, our Board of Education has the USA 250th tab. It has township events, Monmouth County Library events, national events. Today was the barn tour. So I already started seeing some of the photos on social media. It looked just so much fun, as well as educational, and that marked the second town event. So we had the George Washington birthday, and today was the barn tour. Everything else, I could wait till the next meeting. Just really the calendar contest is due May 8th. That's the most important thing I wanted to share. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, Colts Neck Township seniors, Mr. Walsh.
I was actually at the meeting. It was a wonderful opportunity to catch up with old friends. I'm one of them. So it was a great meeting, great lunch, great conversation with friends I haven't seen in a long time.
Great, thank you. Okay, Naval Weapons Station Earl, Mr. Scarpet.
Yeah, no formal report, other than to mention that Earl continues to play an absolute critical piece of our infrastructure here within Colts Neck, including their student base and their participation in our schools. So I'll never stop recognizing them, admiring them, and appreciating them for their valued place in our schools, and our continued success is also relying upon their continued success. One key piece that was mentioned, or was not mentioned earlier, was that we have seen some numbers thrown out there about the 65% of the local taxes being focused on schools. Now, while that might be right, approximately 42% of that slice goes to the Colts Neck pre-K to K, while a full 23% goes to the high school. So that point needs to be properly identified and respected throughout the budget environment, that when we're talking about allocation to schools, it is a shared responsibility between pre-K to 8 as well as our high school responsibility. Thank you.
Great, thank you for those remarks. I have nothing for the New Jersey school boards. I'll report out next meeting. Okay, so at this time, we're concluding our meeting. We do have an executive session listed here for litigation. I'm going to ask for a motion to move into that executive session. No action will be taken. The live stream will conclude at this time. There's no new, actually it was cut off just as, do you have something? I'm sorry.
I did want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we'll go back. Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment to recognize and thank two groups who play an essential role in our schools and community. So first, in honor of National Nurses Day, I want to extend my appreciation to our school nurses. Your care, compassion, and dedication to student health and safety make a meaningful difference every single day. And then, of course, being a teacher, I also want to recognize our teachers in celebration. Dr. Garabay mentioned it quickly before of Teacher Appreciation Week. Again, your commitment, patience, and continued education shape the character of our students, their future, and your impact extends far beyond our classroom. So thank you to all the teachers in Colts Neck for your professionalism, service, your continued dedication to our students and families. And on behalf of the board, we wish you a very happy National Teacher Appreciation Week.
Great. Thank you so much for conveying those thoughts. Thank you, and happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Any other new business that anybody would like to add? Okay, so moving on, like I said, I need a motion to move into executive session for that one litigation meeting. It'll probably take 5 minutes, if that. No action will be taken.
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Yep, go ahead.